Boop, ba-doop, ba-doop. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Oh wait, copyright music! Copyright music! Alrighty then, my roll chubs, it is I, Daniel, you may call me the Pop Culture Dude, and today, I'm gonna make another review. Don't worry, it will be a positive review, and you can see it by the thumbnail. It's not like the Tom and Jerry review, which I wasn't so positive, but don't worry, for this DuckTales review, I eventually had the idea to make this, and I consider this one of the best cartoon finales in cartoon history. And before we get to do that, warning, there will be potential spoilers for this for those who have not seen it. You could go watch it on Disney XD, whether you have cable, or I don't know, just go into the Disney Now app, or find somewhere to watch it. Like, you guys can use the internet for the resources. And for those of you who have not seen the DuckTales reboot at all, I suggest you should go back and rewatch the first season and the second season on Disney Plus before tuning into season 3, because you have to either at least be a fan, but just catch up with the series, because this is not one of those series where it's just continuity is not existent. Like, there is strong continuity in this series, so I say that you should come up with it. But for those of you who don't know about the DuckTales reboot, yes, it's a reboot based on the beloved original Disney afternoon cartoon DuckTales with the exact same name that was made like back in the late 80s to the 90s. I even have it on DVD in my DVD collection. But either way, when this was first announced like in late 2016, people were being kind of skeptical by saying like, oh no, another reboot! Why would they want to reboot DuckTales? Stop it with the reboots! You're just cash grabbing our childhoods! So no, that's not what the case is, because this reboot actually works. The animation works, the creative team. I gotta give special thanks to Frank, who actually makes this series possible in the first place, but also the amazing voice cast from how they match for each character. Like David, the 10th Doctor from Doctor Who, is Scrooge McDuck, and it definitely works because the actor is naturally Scottish. Scrooge McDuck is Scottish, like, blast me bagpipes! And basically, I have to give him credit for his taste in music, including my favorite Scottish band, the Proclaimers, when he dances to I Would Walk 500 Miles, but he does a great job of Scrooge McDuck's, like, capturing, like, the spirit, the adventures, but also the accent as well that, like, fits with Scrooge's character, so that's good. Anyway, the three nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Back then, they kind of sound the same, they kind of look the same, but in this new show, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, they have, like, their distinct look, their distinct personalities, and some great voice casting in it, like Danny Pudi as Huey, great, and I'm gonna give a shout out to their other voice acting, projects that they've done. Like, I know Danny voiced Brainy Smurf in that animated Smurfs reboot, and then my boy Ben Schwartz voices Dewey, and he totally nailed it! And yes, that is a catchphrase he says in the series as Dewey Duck, obviously voicing Sonic the Hedgehog, Leonardo voicing blue animated characters, but he totally nailed it at the role. And we got Bobby Monahan, who voices Huey, which I kind of knew as Panda from We Bare Bears on Cartoon Network, so he also, like, brings a really good job of bringing the voice. And also we got Kay, who voices Webby, and I do like her work as Velma, as it works very well in Scooby-Doo. But I really like this take on Webby. It's not like that, oh, Uncle Scrooge, like that little sensitive, adorable one. Webby's just more adventurous, quirky, and even in the finale, she gets a lot of development. Honestly, all the characters get a bunch of development in the show as well. And I'm gonna talk about some other side characters like Mrs. Beakley. She's not the typical old woman like, oh dear. She's actually mature, strong, independent, and she's actually a really well complex character. And Launchpad, he's pretty much the same for the original, and he is voiced by Beck Burnett from Saturday Night Live, and he sounds perfect for the role. He brings in the great jokes, the great team-ups, including with his heroes, Darkwing Duck and Gizmo Duck, and yes, this show is connected with the Disney Afternoon universe. If you grow up with the Disney Afternoon cartoons like DuckTales, Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck, Gummy Bears, Goof Troop, yes, even Goof Troop, you can find it all in here. And speaking of which, you even got Donald Duck himself, one of the most iconic Disney characters of all time. And the fact is, we already got his original voice actor, Tony, who voiced Donald for the past 30 years of decades of Disney animation. But for this show, he's not like the cowardly, like, help, help! Worst Donald Duck impression, don't judge me. But either way, Donald Duck has become a little bit more heroic. He does a little bit more independent, but also gets to save, go look after Scrooge, but also Huey, Dewey, and Louie as well. So I can definitely see that they really developed Donald Duck's character, including one episode where he sounds a lot like Dante like rubber baby puppy bumpers. So yeah, it was kind of like a tongue twister. That was like pretty creative. We do see a couple of cameos in a way from Darkwing Duck, Gizmo Duck, but also characters from the original cartoon gets to be like come back to this series, including some main popular villains, including the Beagle Boys themselves. But the main antagonist in the finale is definitely Bradford Buzzard, who's basically the biggest villain of the series, but also this finale. But anyway, now I'm just talking about what are my thoughts on the characters, the style. I really like how it's really developed with the story and the way that brings variety. It's definitely a love letter who loves the original DuckTales, but also the other Disney afternoon cartoons, and it will be great for a brand new generation. DuckTales 2017, yeah, it came out in 2017. It's a series done right, and it's a finale done right compared to other reboots. Teen Titans, there you go. Powerpuff Girls, yup, totally call it Scooby-Doo. You bet you're gonna have more Scooby-Doo reboots. But other than that, no, it doesn't really like fail. It doesn't like disrespect the source material. It actually adds its own continuity. It adds its most sense to like develop its characters and decide to make them so well beloved. And there is a bunch of Easter eggs. If you are a hardcore, diehard DuckTales fan, or even a Disney Afternoon fan, you're definitely going to caught every single reference, Easter egg, and it's all going to be for you just for the pleasing of fan service once again. Done right. And speaking of the finale, I honestly don't know where to begin. It's basically the Avengers Endgame of DuckTales, and yes, it's rerunning itself for 24 hours on Disney XD, so for people who eventually have not seen the finale yet, you should go check it out right now if you still have cable TV and not a streaming service. But it also gets a chance by saying that fans could rewatch it, because this finale is definitely worth watching, especially if you are caught up with the series. So I suggest that you should go back to some early episodes just to get caught up with it, since, you know, it's a strong structured continuity series that really does take itself seriously. So I gotta give respect for the crew for it. But we do see a bunch of characters trying to celebrate Webby's birthday, from Donald Duck to Della Duck, which is basically the mother of the three nephews. And then we obviously got Daisy Duck, we got the Three Caballeros, and we actually got all these characters all into this one big event. And what's so amazing about this finale, it's so ensemble heavy that it definitely works from why everyone has a purpose to be in this show, but also a purpose to be in this finale as well. From the villains to the heroes to the side characters and how much they matter to the story. That's what this show is really good at. It's really good story narrative, and it's really good with its theme as well. Especially really dives deep to the family theme, and yes, we know that message has been told a million times before, but don't worry, there's this one point where Webby actually has some clone sisters named June and May, and basically they kind of have that evil blood in her that makes her a little bit stay away from her own friends that she used to bond with. But at the exact same time, they sometimes get a little bit confused, like, well, but these guys are not your biological family. Why do you care so much about them? And then Webby's basically just more like by saying, sometimes family doesn't have to be related. It's like about the people that you're close with. So yeah, that's what I'm basically saying. Like, when it comes to having families, it does have to be blood type. As long as you have that emotional bond and connection with those people, you do consider to be family to yourself and to your home and to your heart. So it's a good thing that they decided to present that message. Even Donald Duck himself really brings really great character development, as well as Della Duck, who's basically the Amelia Earhart, but a duck version of her in Duckburg. So I definitely would say that as well. But also, Scrooge McDuck actually makes some ultimate sacrifices that does remind me of the original DuckTales movie, During the Lost Treasure. And yes, it does really bring it to the real emotional moments of knowing about Mrs. Beakley, knowing about Webby's past, and the way that Huey, Dewey, and Louie are just doing their best just to keep on working together, still defending each other, because that's what family's doing. Like, that's what we're saying. It's all about the importance of teamwork, and that's what this finale succeeds at. And speaking of which, one of the major plot twists is that Webby, spoiler alert, she is a descendant and a daughter of Scrooge McDuck. It was Mr. Scrooge all along. I'm just kidding, but either way, we see that Bradford Buzzard eventually just casts himself a spell that really just makes all of everyone who's related to Scrooge into their doom. And Launchpad, he actually becomes the hero just to save everyone out of their prison cells thanks to the foul cooperation. But at the exact same time, Scrooge has made the ultimate sacrifice to, like, save anyone, including Donald. Like, oh no, they're gonna kill Donald! Like, this show really gets a good idea, including its finale, does a great job of emotional reversals. Like, yes, the heroes are gonna win. Oh crap, they're gonna be in danger. Ah, it's okay, we're good. Oh shoot, they're eventually gonna die. Yes! no, yes, no. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this finale does a really good job of making you putting on the edge of your seats. I definitely say this finale is as great as the Gravity Falls finale and the regular show finale, because there's some other finales that doesn't really succeed well at the end. The Amazing World Gumball, yeah. But for DuckTales, For Season 3, it definitely makes us feel satisfied. I'm like, okay, this is a conclusive arc where everyone eventually gets reunited, like Scrooge and Webby eventually just have this emotional heart bond by saying, I am your father, blast me bagpipe. But either way, it's good that we see that everyone working together and decide to stick together for the end and decide to face off the villains as they're off, flying on a plane. And one of the most emotional moments in the episode, in this finale as a whole, is the end credit sequence. Stay to the end of the credits. It's not end credit scenes, but it's nice to see every single character having their conclusive arcs, but also skydiving down, and eventually the theme song plays go, and after that it just ends off with Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Webby, and Scrooge down to the middle, and then boom, the DuckTales logo is down there. So overall, the DuckTales series finale is hands down one of the best Disney XD cartoons that's ever been aired, and I kind of wish that would have gone to 4th season, or I don't know, their own iteration of their own movie. But for this finale for Season 3, I say this is a satisfying conclusion, unless they want to continue the story. Like, I heard there's rumors of a Darkwing Duck spin-off series. I'm not sure if it's connected to the same universe as the original DuckTales, or it's gonna be its own thing. But if it is, if it follows the same continuity, then that'll be cool just to continue some of the side characters' arcs, so I'll definitely approve of it. But other than that, the DuckTales finale definitely leads everything on a high note, and if you feel like, if you're trying to be like, oh, this was one of the best shows of all time, why does it have to be move away, this is sad, just be grateful from all the adventures, including, yes, in the title of the episode, The Last Adventure, that it was definitely worth seeing from beginning to end. This series definitely proves what you can do of a classic Disney cartoon, make it a great re-adventure for both old fans and new fans of this current generation could love and enjoy. So thank you to Frank and everyone who's involved with the crew making an amazing reboot, and I wish everyone good luck for their future animated projects or any Disney cartoons in general. So that's it for my review of the DuckTales finale. It brings a thumbs up to me. If you have seen the finale, what are your thoughts on it? And in case of other words, which specific Disney afternoon cartoon or any cartoon in general would you like to see rebooted? Let me know down in the comments below. And I have to say this, like, thank you so much for watching. And as for tomorrow's video, I'm gonna do me some unboxing, some Funko Pops for the next video. So that's it for my review. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next time. Take care now. Bye-bye then. Woo!